Well, happy Easter to my family, and of course, speaking of the King family, and some of which is withheld against the orders of the court and the Constitution of Canada, which of course is the supreme law in the land. And it's interesting, on this beautiful Easter day that we have a problem with family courts who do not abide the Constitution of 1982 in terms of the section on religious freedom. And when you deny minors the ability to see another parent and you deny their religious right, constitutional right, freedom of religion, practice their faith, and they've been denied not only their father and their grandmother on the paternal side, interestingly enough, but they've also been denied their previous religion and still christened religion, and I speak of the Anglican Church of Canada. And so, what can be done? And it's false allegations, of course, which has been the most recent problem, and the other party has continually not abided any order that's made in relation to sharing children of the King family. So essentially you have to go back to court each time, even if it's the wrong court. For instance, the jurisdictional aspect of this case is held in the Supreme Court, all matters concerning the children, but the other party has been successful with the use of a lawyer of ill repute, Tony Kong, who went in and spoke and misled a judge, of course aiding and abetting in child abuse, as it's known, emotional abuse, coercive control, which is part of the criminal code. And of course, once you get into section 127, the non-obeyance of orders of the court, you're also breaching those as well. Section 282, 283 of the criminal code, harboring children outside of the province of British Columbia against a Supreme Court order. Interestingly enough, the RCMP of North Vancouver and the RCMP in general will not enforce. And so the criminal code, which they are to, by charter, to do. So it's selective law enforcement for fathers in Canada. And so, I've been told on occasions when I've pointed that out, well, do you enforce section 282, 283 when they left the province? And I was trying to track them down. And I was told by one constable, well, what is that? And, oh, well, you could do the same thing and take them. And we both knew full well, of course, and every father knows that it is a discriminatory selective law enforcement, because you would be in shackles if you did not abide the orders of the court and the police were involved in enforcement. So, grim reminder on this beautiful day. And again, I want to point out that I'm a loving father, not a criminal, and I've been treated like one for the past 4.5 years and denied my son and now my daughter, who is ordered by the Supreme Court of British Columbia, Vancouver Supreme, to be brought to Vancouver Island once a month for 2 days. And this has not been the case and not been done. And a provincial court judge, Joanne Challenger, has made a order ex parte within 15 minutes on a 15-second matter that is completely questionable and has no merit and is not the grounds for a criminal-like order to keep away from my children 1 kilometer for 1 year. No gestures, no presents, no anything can be made to them, not even so much as a direct address on social media. This is reserved for the harshest of circumstances, but here we have an exception. We have somebody who is a peaceable citizen, a former teacher of students of music, someone who has formerly been involved in charitable organizations for children, for fire victims, not only in North Vancouver, but in Nova Scotia, and whose reputation precedes them, and has many, many references of character, across the board. And so what do we have here in terms of jurisprudence? In British Columbia, we don't have any, and it's a disgrace, and I want to point that out to the court on this religious day, which peoples of countries acknowledge and have so for millennia. So disgrace, disgrace. Happy Easter.